Up in the hills of Bath County, there's a ridge where the trees lean like they're listening, where even the wind don't whisper right. Folks around here call it Widow's Ridge, and if you're a man walking up there after dark, you best be ready for her to find you first. Well, evening, y'all, and welcome back to Kentucky Melody, where the past don't stay buried, and some stories still walk these ridgelines after dark. It's getting close to that time of year again, and we're setting our sights on something a little darker this season. That's right. From now till Halloween, we're dropping a whole spell book's worth of tales. Real stories passed down through whispers and warnings about the women they feared, the curses they swore were real, and the places where the fire still remembers their names. Some were healers, some were outcasts, some may've never been witches at all, but every one of 'em left a mark that ain't never faded. So light your lantern, pull your covers tight, and settle in. 'Cause tonight we're heading up a lonesome trail to a place the locals still won't speak of after sundown. This is the story of the Witch of Widow's Ridge. In the year 1879, not far from the Licking River, there lived a woman by the name of Malina Cade. She was quiet, peculiar, and too educated for a woman, they said. Knew her way around herbs, poultices, and how to ease a dying man's pain when no doctor could. She lived with her husband, Eli Cade, in a crooked little cabin near the edge of a limestone ridge, where hawks screamed at sunset and fog rolled in like breath from the mouth of the earth. Now, Eli was no good, mean when he drank, meaner when he didn't. Folks at the grist mill said Malina came in once with a bruise like a handprint bloomin' on her neck. Then, one October night, with no storm, no sickness, no warnin', Eli was found dead in his bed, eyes wide, mouth twisted like he'd seen something he shouldn't have. No mark on him, no cause anyone could see, and you can guess what happened next. They said she killed him, not with hands but with witchwork, that she'd used her herbs and whispers to pull his soul straight out of his chest. The preacher called it a Jezebel's justice. The townfolk called it murder without blood, and though there was no trial, no proof, they drove her out, forced her to pack a sack and walk, barefoot and silent, up the ridge behind her home, the same place where Eli liked to chop trees and shout at the birds when he was in a rage. No one ever saw her again, not alive anyway. It was the winter after she vanished that the stories started. A trapper named Clay Tinsley was the first to speak it plain. Said he was setting steel traps near the ridge just as dusk came on. The snow was fresh, clean. Then he heard it.
Clay, Clay, you shouldn't be here.
He turned. Nothing. Then again, closer this time.
Men like you always think they own the woods.
He ran. Said the whisper followed him all the way down the slope till he fell into the creek trying to escape it. When he looked back, he saw a figure in black standing among the birch trees. Face pale, mouth twisted like Eli's. He never hunted the ridge again. Others began to report strange things. Horses refusing to ride the ridge trail, men getting lost on paths they knew by heart, trees bleeding sap that smelled like rot, whispers at night saying names that no one had told aloud. But the most frightening thing, only men ever heard the whispers. Only men saw the figure. Women said the ridge was peaceful, almost warm. In 1902, a young school teacher named Miss Emmeline Waller tried to settle on the ridge with her brother. They built a new home where Malina's old cabin once stood. The morning after the house was finished, her brother was found dead on the porch. eyes wide, tongue black, hands clawed like he'd been trying to keep something out. Miss Emmeline, she was sitting inside, smiling, sipping tea. When the sheriff asked what happened, she said she didn't want another man here. I suppose she had her reasons. Emmeline packed her bags that afternoon and left. Never returned. The cabin burned down 6 days later. No lightning, no visitors, just ash and a black scorch mark shaped like a woman's bare feet walking toward the edge of the ridge. To this day, hunters and hikers still claim the ridge holds a presence. They say you can hear whispering in the trees if you're alone, especially if you're a man, especially if you're angry. They say Malina's still up there, guarding her ridge, guarding her peace, guarding whatever secret she took with her that night. They ran her out. And they say if you ever hear her voice calling your name, don't answer. Just turn round and get off the ridge before she makes you a widow too. Now, let me ask you something. Do you believe a place can remember? Can the trees hold grudges? Can the wind carry a woman's last breath? Or maybe Malina Cade weren't no witch at all, just a soul done wrong, and the land itself rose up to keep her memory sharp. Y'all ever been to Widow's Ridge, or someplace like it, where the shadows feel like they're listening? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, and don't hold back none. We read every one, and if you're enjoying this journey through Kentucky's witch-haunted hollers, hit that like, tap subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next tale. We got plenty more brewing in the cauldron, and some of them, they get a whole lot darker than this. Thanks for listening to Kentucky Melody, where the past ain't never really past, and some folks don't take too kindly to being forgotten. If you've got your own holler tale, haunted family history, or know of a ridge that ain't right, send it to us at KentuckyMelody.com. We'll be back next time with another tale from deep in these mountains. Till then, keep your lantern lit, and don't follow no whispers.